Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to MHF. Welcome to another stream in this horrific international break. The only thing that's good is Nigeria play tomorrow for Congo for who's going to make the World Cup. Yeah, that is exciting. Doubly here with us to talk about Man United and everything else in the Premier League. Of course, Dayo is with us here. Husam is with us, but it's a black screen. But he is here. I promise you this. Joey's going to be joining us, talking about everything. Are Arsenal favorites for the league? Are they shaking? Man United, where can they finish? Are they better than... Who are they better to? Are they stagnant? Have they improved this season? We'll talk about that as well. Liverpool comeback is on now the plate, which is a lot of people are saying that, of course. And Chelsea, where Chelsea are, you know? Well, okay. All right. Anyway, how's everyone doing?
Bored already. I don't do international. I'm wearing a Brazil top, but I don't do international football. So boring.
You don't watch it? I don't.
No. What am I watching it for? I don't care until the actual tournaments begin.
Yes.
I couldn't give it. And it's been the third one already this season. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like, next season is going to be 3 weeks.
Oh, mate, that's even worse. But I just feel like...
But it's going to be shorter next season. It's just 3 weeks, and I think it's twice. It's not going to be 3 times. So it's going to be 2 international breaks of 3 weeks, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's even longer.
No, but here we're doing 3 international breaks of 2 weeks anyways. It's the same amount of weeks. It's 6 weeks in total eventually.
But I just feel like we're
doing 3 weeks of...
stop and starting. It's just stopping and starting. You just want to... It's what you know. A nice,
I think also because it's a World
play.
Cup year next year as well. You know, maybe that's another reason why you have a lot more of this. I mean, after the World Cup year, you can't really be asked as a player to want to go to a lot of those international breaks. And I think they can actually, yeah. I think again, the World Cup year is probably added to it. You know, so
yeah.
Where's Joey? Where's Joey? I wanted to start with Man United and Chelsea. We're not going to start with Arsenal again and again. This is kind of boring. You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, Husam,
why are you thinking out loud, man? You could just message him, bro. I'm messaging him as well.
I did just message him. I messaged him like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, this guy. Where's Joey in the middle of them speaking? Let them speak. Go ahead, Aaron.
Easy, Husam. You're good, bro.
Yeah,
he's just nervous. Liverpool are 8th in the champs and 8th in the league. He's just nervous. Anyway, it is what it is.
Oh, are you 8th in the champs?
They are. I think so.
Great. So we qualify without having qualifiers. Anyway, go on, Aaron.
I was just saying I hate international football, bro. That's all. You know, apart from tournaments, I don't care. Boring.
Some likes international football because he watches Jordan beat other teams now. They're a good team now. They made it to the World Cup, so it's good for him.
Qualified. Yep, for the first time.
Is that the
in our
first time in the history, huh?
Yeah, this is the first time
It's
ever we're gonna be at the
pretty
World
good.
Cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst thing. The only teams I care about is Brazil, obviously, and Jamaica.
Why do you care about Brazil?
Because I don't support. I never supported England, mate. I say never until '98. After the Beckham thing, that's when no.
You don't support England, but you support Brazil,
because I fell in love with Brazil. Watching Brazil,
brother.
fell in love with them. So I'd rather watch. I mean, they're not so great now, but again, it proves I'm not a glory hunter. Do you know what I mean? Like yourself, Sam, because when you started supporting Liverpool, I guess they was crap, right?
Oh hell yeah!
There you go.
We were real shit when I started
Yeah.
supporting Liverpool.
Exactly. So no one can call you a glory hunter. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, there was no glory to hunt.
The only problem is with what, like in Brazil and obviously Jamaica, where family heritages, they play it obviously in the UK. They play it stupid o'clock, so I can't even like properly watch them because it's like 1, 2 a.m.
Yeah, but I think like back in the day, we used to watch a lot more football than we do now. That's the
I
thing.
think it's more. I think it's too much. I think now it is far too much football.
Yeah,
You
that's
look
the
at-
thing.
Yeah,
How?
we
We
used
used
to.
I used to watch La Liga. I used to watch La Liga, Serie A,
I used to watch
Bundesliga.
Brazilian league, bro.
I used to watch
I mean,
everything, bro.
It's
Everything,
easier,
like-
but it's easier to watch back then because now it's in 8 different places.
Because of
But
content. It's because of
Yeah,
content.
but
I don't have
Yeah,
time.
but also more. There's a lot more competitions now, like before. You
I
know,
don't
back-
know if it's because I'm older or because I just think we're a little bit tired of football now in general because of it's just too much. Nations League, blah blah blah, World Cup, Euros. There's an AFCON every 3 seconds now. It used to be every 4 years back in the day.
Yeah.
Actually, it used to be every 2 years, but
Every 2
actually
years.
now.
Yeah. Wait, when Egypt three-peated, it was 06, 08, 010, right?
Now it's every 4 years, which
Yeah.
is better.
No, it's not.
It went back to every 2 years again.
Yeah, bro. AFCON happened literally.
AFCON is every 2 years now again. I think they've started doing that 2-year thing again. They were 2 years, they went to 4 years, and then they brought it back again.
I love it.
I
People
don't
say, I don't think football is worse. I think this is the strongest the Premier League has ever been. I'll be honest with you.
I think football.
If Man United, by the way, you see the Man United side, I'll use Man United as an example. You see Man United that finished 15th. We had Liverpool under Roy Hodgson. The lowest we ever finished was 8th. And that for me,
But is that not due? That's not due to the size, the strength of the league, though. That's due to United being shit. That's
No,
that's
that
nothing
is
to do
due
with the
to the
league.
strength.
I don't think it is.
okay, I'll explain to you. I think the bottom 10 teams 12, 13 years ago, you probably beat home and away a lot easier than the bottom 10 teams now.
Absolutely not. The point tally increased with the years. The number of points for the champions and the seconds have improved over the years, have increased. Man United used to win the leagues on the 70s and the 80s point, and that was supposed to be
Now
great.
you're
season.
using the anomalies.
When that's not the anomalies. When Mourinho got 90, bro. I remember when Mourinho, bro, when Conte got 93 points, people said, "Oh my God, 93 points with Chelsea." Nowadays, people say, "Oh, this league is going to be won in the 90s. You're going to get 95, 94.
Yeah.
That's the norm now." Back in the days, if you get to 90, you won the league.
Yeah,
Definitely won the league.
By far.
Um,
Absolutely.
In fact, if you go to 88,
watch
you
this,
won the
yeah?
league back in the day.
I knew Mo. See, this is the bullshit, because I knew that he was talking about that United towards the end of the 90s thing. Yeah, but watch this: 93, 84 points; 94, 92 points; 95, 89 points; 96, 82 points. Then what you're talking about happened: 75, 78, 79.
So there is no
Yeah.
like. What is this
طب
about?
استنى شوي. Why are you so angry? Relax.
But that's when the Premier League got a lot stronger. That's what he's
No,
talking
but
about.
that you're talking
The
about
league got
like this
stronger then.
3-year period. Now watch this, yeah, from 2000 onwards: 91, 80, 87, 83, 90, 95, Jose Mourinho; 91, 89, 87, 90, 86, 80, 2010, 11, 89, 89, 86, 87, 81, Leicester.
So my
93,
point, anybody that gets to 90, they win the
So
league.
this whole 90 thing,
Yeah.
bro, Jose,
So,
bro,
You're
forget Jose
making my
Mourinho. Who
point,
won the league
Husam.
in
You're
2000?
proving me
Man
right.
United in the year 2000 won the league on 91 points.
Bro, he's proving me right. You get to 90, you won the league already back in the days. Now you can get to 90 or 89 points or 88
And
points
come second.
and
Yeah,
come
come
second.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
come
yeah.
second.
Husam, do you
Which
understand what he's saying?
proves-
That's what he's saying, that back in the day, if you got to 90 points, you can win the league with 90 points. But now
You're
can get-
guaranteed to win
No,
the You get 88, 89, 80
Nice.
stuff. You're most likely are winning the league as well. Like, bro, between 2011 and 2017, before Conte won it, nobody got to 90 points. Nobody, no team. There's no team that got to 90. That's like 7 years.
Bro, I
For-
just
like-
told you. What do you mean? No one got to 90 points.
Yep, now I'm checking it. 2012, the winner is 89.
2000, the year 2000, Man United won 91 points.
No, he's saying in between a period, no one had done it again.
Yeah,
Is that
but
what
that's
he's
the
saying,
whole
yeah?
point. The
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
point is back in the days, you get to 90 points, you're guaranteed to win the league. I promise you, people say this season, Arsenal might get to 90 points or City might get to 90 points and they might not win the league. Arsenal
No,
got
but
to 89
but
points
that's
and they lost
actually
the
not
league.
going to happen.
You
though.
got to 97
not
points
gonna
and they didn't win the league.
That's
What
not
is
gonna
this?
happen. That was different. That was the
I know,
bottom
but
teams
Husam,
were easier to beat.
Husam, but that's what we're saying.
I don't
that-
think any team is gonna get to like 98 points this season. or something.
I'm
Yeah, no, Husam,
I
no
agree
team
with
will
that.
get to 98 points or get to 97. What we're saying
I
is
think the
back
winner
in
of the
day-
league is gonna be 88, 89.
But back in the day, at 90 points, you're guaranteed to win the league. Now you're not guaranteed to win the league with 90 points. Like
Now
this-
you are. That's
no,
the thing. You are right.
You're not. You're not.
I don't
Whichever
think you
team
are.
gets to 90 points this season will win the league.
That's this
Well-
season only. That's and,
No,
and by
the
the-
year before as well.
and hold on, and that's an assumption. That is an assumption. But
Maybe
you,
ever since there is money in the Premier League, you need to understand something.
he's wrong and strong now.
Back in
He's
the- back in the
wrong and
day.
strong. I swear to
Mo,
God.
when you tell someone you're wrong and strong, while not listening to the argument, it
We are
makes
listening
sense.
to you. You're not listening to us, Habibi. We're saying
I am
that-
listening. You notice how in 11 minutes 45 seconds I've spoken 45 seconds uninterrupted.
you've spoken the
Listen,
most out of us. You keep telling us every year who
No,
won
I
the league by what points.
No, I haven't. I was just reading stats. You need to understand my point. I look at the league from last year onwards, and probably as well the year before that, I would say, when it was Arsenal, City, and Liverpool for the title. From that year onwards, there is a significant increase in quality in the league. And there is something as well that people never bring into account when speaking about these things, which is the coaches. The coaches of the bottom 10 teams, the bottom 15 teams back in the day were all the same prototype for the most part. Now they're all different. Glasner is different to Iraola, is different to Hertzler, is different to this guy. All of these guys are all different caliber managers. These are all managers
Does that make the league stronger though? Doesn't mean
yes,
necessarily mean
because
it just means
I
it's
think
more
stronger
diverse.
managers, better
than anything
players.
else.
Brother, Semenyo is a Bournemouth player who's linked to Real Madrid today.
But that's happened before. Jonathan Woodgate
that's
went to
not
Real
happened
Madrid.
before. No,
Jonathan
that's not.
Woodgate went to Real Madrid. Jonathan Woodgate went to Real Madrid.
From Spurs.
No, but Spurs then, but
Spurs
Spurs
are
back
bad.
then. We're at
Spurs
Spurs
then.
now. Spurs.
No,
now,
no,
Spurs
no,
now.
no. Don't
Come
be
on,
disingenuous.
No.
That would be
be
the
honest.
Bournemouth
honest.
player linked to Real Madrid would be the equivalent of a West Brom player.
But, they
being
were,
linked
but,
to Real
but
Madrid.
Bournemouth player did go to Real Madrid in the summer. Didn't they just buy one of their defenders?
Oh, it's in
That's
here.
my point.
Yeah, so what are we talking about here? Like, what?
Yeah, that's my point. That's why the
And
Premier
then
League
you-
is stronger now.
we just had a
So you're
Bournemouth player
telling
go to
me
Madrid.
last season Liverpool, like until February, they had one loss against Nottingham Forest. Well,
Yeah.
back in the days,
Robbie-
teams used to lose more games, bro.
Robbie Keane.
Back in the days, teams used to lose more games.
Sam,
Jose
Sam, Robbie
Mourinho's Chelsea
Keane-
had 95
This is
points.
an
From
ex-
Coventry.
you're
Ferguson's
using the
United had
exceptions.
91 points. Oh,
You're,
they
you're,
used to
you're
lose a
using
lot
the
more games.
exceptions. You're using
This
the
is a
exceptions.
narrative. This is a
You're using
narrative.
the exception. bro.
Hassan,
I'm not
Hassan,
using the
Robbie,
exception
Robbie
actually, 'cause
Keane
we won the league on
Robbie
84
Keane
points.
from Coventry to Inter Milan. Then it's happened. These small teams, big players go to big clubs. It's happened.
Yeah, I
And
think I understand.
Inter back then, 99, 2000 were massive, weren't they? They were huge.
Yeah, but question the volume of it though, because two Bournemouth centre backs. One guy went to Real
Paul
Madrid.
Ince from a small club, Man United, to Inter at that time. It's fine. It
Who?
happened.
Say that again. What was that one?
It happened. You know what I mean? Like
Very
Paul
Paul
Ince
Ince.
went
Paul
from the small Man United at that time with only 3 league titles to Inter, the giant. This is simple. You know what I mean? I think that was simple, bro.
And again,
Not three league titles.
And again, Husam, I understand what you're saying when you say look at the volume, but you have to remember that back then it wasn't a normal thing for that to happen. They had just started. Now it's happening more because the markets are more integrated. The clubs, Europe is more integrated, it's getting bigger. leagues.
Europe is broke, brother.
No. What I mean, Europe is getting bigger. I'm talking about, again, you can say broke financially, money wise, whatever. I understand that, but I'm saying there's more access to European leagues now worldwide than there was back then. So there's a bit more influx of money. For example, you have networks in Africa like DSTV that will show you, or High TV or any of these other platforms in other countries that will show you La Liga. Show you have DAS network. There's streaming platforms that you can watch games that you normally would not have watched before. The Portuguese league, you can watch. You can see all those things. That brings more money. So the leagues are stronger. You're able to access better players more now and buy players from wherever. So Madrid.
Okay, so Dayo, why are you arguing with me when me and
I'm
you
not
agree?
arguing. I'm just adding to the conversation. Why,
Yeah, me and you.
why,
No,
why
but
is
me and you
everything, why
agree.
is everything an
The
argument?
league is stronger now, bro. The
It's just
Bournemouth
adding context.
example. Yeah, we said Bournemouth centre backs. This summer, a Bournemouth centre back went to Real Madrid. The other one went to PSG.
Yeah,
Are we aware of what I
know,
just said?
but that's what
A
I'm saying.
Bournemouth centre back went
Husam.
to the treble winners, and the other Bournemouth centre back went to the biggest club in the world.
But that's what we're saying, Husam. We are agreeing that
No,
yes,
that's not what you're saying. Me and you are saying the same thing. The
I
two
know,
above
but
us are disagreeing.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
what-
they
what-
are. They're saying
what
the
Mo-
Premier League was
what
stronger
Mo
back in
said-
the day.
No, what Mo said is back in the day, if you got to 90 points, you were guaranteed to win the league. He says now, even if you get to 90 points, for example, a few seasons ago, City was 93 and you were 92 points. You could have won the league. That's it. A few seasons ago, it was 93, 92.
Those
I
are
think
not
what
the seasons I'm talking about, Dayo.
I know, but what I'm saying is that you can get to 90 points now and still feel like you're struggling to win the league now. And that's what Mo said.
Yeah, Habibi, I'm talking about the last 3 years onwards.
You can't
I'm
just
talking about the last title race between Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. From that season onwards, the
Okay,
strength of the Premier
let's
League has
just pick the
increased
period that suits the
simply because
conversation.
there's a lot more money in the league and because there's a lot better managers in the league. That's the thing.
What is harder, to win the league now or back in the days?
No.
No.
I say
That
no.
I agree
would say
with.
no.
Yeah,
No,
it's
not
harder-
that I
it's-
agree with.
It's harder to win it now.
Several teams.
Mo just gaslit us for an hour for no reason.
No. I
How
still
can you
think
say the Premier League
that-
is more difficult to win now? but stronger
because
back in
and
the
that's
day?
that's
Doesn't
the
mean it's
thing that-
stronger.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean it's
that's the
stronger.
argument. That's the argument. Now, that's the point. It's actually that you can get to 90 points, you can get to 91 points, you can get to 89 points and come second. That makes it harder, but it doesn't make the league stronger,
Yeah.
right? I get what you're saying, Osam. The players now, because the
Harder
Premier League
doesn't
has
make
more,
it stronger. What are we doing here?
because there is one team challenging you that can actually win against similar amount of teams that you win.
But it's
that
not
make
the same
sense?
thing, though. It's not the
Does
same
that
thing.
does that
because-
make sense?
But it's not the same
I know what
thing.
you're saying, though. I know what you're saying, though.
But it's
Like,
'cause
there
he's
is
talking about
another
strength
team that can
from
win the
top-
same amount of games as you.
but
That
you
means
have-
the difference between the top teams and the bottom teams is big. We have seen it with Liverpool, and we have seen it with Arsenal and Man City when they went toe to toe. We have seen it with Liverpool and Man City toe to toe. We have seen it many times. Oh, someone is hungry.
I just like I see where Husam's going though, because like you back in the day, those teams that were in like 10th and 12th weren't issues for teams. Like weren't issues for the top four of the top four of the. Of
No,
the
they
Premier
were.
League.
No, they were. They still were. Like
Not as much as they are now.
I think.
Not
Well, I
as
think so
much.
because we would struggle at places. You know, West Ham away, we would always struggle. Villa, Newcastle, we struggle at teams throughout the Premier League history.
These aren't the clubs we're talking about, Aaron. You know this.
But what I'm saying is, I'm talking in terms of the league. You're looking at teams that weren't as big back then, or but we would still struggle against them. Like now, like you say, Bournemouth, Brighton.
Brother,
obviously
when you
United
faced
struggle against
when
teams.
you faced Blackpool back in the day, you had to worry about Charlie Adam and Taylor.
that away
Fletcher.
game, that away game wasn't easy though. We did
The
struggle in
Stoke-
that away game.
all you had to do against Stoke was worry about the long ball.
We lost at Stoke. We lost at Stoke quite a few times. I'll tell you that as well. And we drew. It's relative. Like
Okay,
obviously.
now you look at the league now. Brighton
Yeah.
is difficult. Sunderland is difficult. Bournemouth is difficult. Aston Villa is difficult. Newcastle is difficult. Sunderland is difficult. There are no more easy games in the Premier League. Legitimately, right now, the easy games is like Burnley, Leeds,
the
Wolves,
question
because
is-
they're
And the
struggling.
other side of it is that all
So
these teams now also have money, so it's not like they can't go and
Mm.
buy players.
So, yeah,
now.
so it's
That's-
more
Thank you,
competitive.
Joey. That's the point.
Yeah, so it's more competitive, but doesn't mean it's stronger. That's what you're trying. That's what I'm saying.
By
It's more
definition, if
competitive,
it's
doesn't mean
more
it's stronger.
competitive, it's more
Well,
stronger.
by the
I
way,
think you
No,
guys
it's
are
not
arguing
really.
cement.
The quality
These
isn't as
nostalgia
strong, is what
merchants are crumbling.
quality isn't as strong.
We're
is
not
what I'm
crumbling.
saying.
You're not letting us finish the point. And
Husam, let me give you.
he's
By the way,
interrupting
guys,
us.
more
He's
competitive.
interrupting.
Mo,
By
can
the
I
way,
give an example?
he's interrupting us, and
You
everyone in
don't
the chat
understand.
agree with us.
It's fine.
He's just trying to prove his point. Here is the point.
Mo,
Osam.
let me ask you a
Now,
question, please, real quick.
let me just, before you ask the question, the point
Okay.
is now I can see 2 to 3 teams getting 88, 89 points in the same season. That means the gap between them and the rest is bigger than back in the days when there's only one team that if they get to 90 points, they will win. The rest of the league are beating each other. Now you can get to 90 points and literally lose the league. That means there is another team that is the gap between them and the rest of the league is big as well. There is not only one team, there is 2, 3 teams that can do this.
A good analogy would be like in boxing. Right now, the heavyweight is a little crowded. There's a bunch of people that can win it. If you look around, you can see like in the last few years, right? But back in the day when Mike Tyson was winning it, does it mean that the boxers are stronger than Tyson back then? No. It just means that back then Tyson was Tyson. Like this is what it
Yeah,
was. The
but
game was more. The game was the game back then. Now there's a bunch more people who are just there, like literally 2, 3, 4 teams that can actually compete simultaneously. You know, back then it would probably be just 2 teams competing for the entire league. Everybody else is kind of struggling behind them. But now there's 3 more. Doesn't mean that it's more competitive, but it's not stronger than what it used to be.
Are
I
we
think
okay?
that's
Let's
not
actually
wrong.
discuss now the actual topics that we need to discuss after this.
So like
Is it
I guess the
necessary?
only thing I have for this is like I don't really like that comparison, the boxing comparison very much, but that's to your own. Like I'm not gonna really go against it. But I think the big thing when it comes to this is you have to look at the league. In my opinion, you have to look at the league's comparison to the other leagues around Europe to have this conversation. Like in essence, if you're looking at, because I don't believe the quality of this league has gotten stronger. I just think that the competition of this league is stronger. So like that's a different, it's a totally different conversation. Like the quality of it is, in my opinion, lower compared to where it was in the early Barclays days. But when we're talking about just the competition of itself, like the Premier League compared to what La Liga is now, what Serie A is now, to what all these other leagues are now, it's the strongest league. It just is.
And
It's
there's so
top
much
to
more
bottom
money
strong.
involved as well. You have to keep that in mind.
And maybe it's more
Sunderland
competitive because
spent
everybody's
more-
shopping from the same supermarket. Again, if you all were racing the same type of cars, it'll become very competitive. It doesn't mean it's stronger than what it used to be.
Sunderland spend more money than Barcelona now.
But that just means it's more money. Doesn't mean anything. That.
The
more
problem
money means
is
more quality.
It just means it's more money.
third, so 6 have gotten worse. Probably, I don't know. Actually, I disagree with this. I disagree with this, but it changes every year. But listen, I wanted to discuss the Man United versus Chelsea thing because Hasselbank said that Man United haven't improved this season, which is, I think it's a freaking crazy take. But there are people about like the comparison. Is the comparison between Man United and Chelsea fair? Or there is a gap between both teams? Or now we should compare Man United to Liverpool, which is, I think it's crazy. Right? In my
Mo,
opinion.
maybe you need to update me on what's going on because I don't actually know what you mean, what this question is referring from.
Okay, so Hasselbank said that he sees no improvement. The response is Man United, based on the current situation, can compete for top 5, top 4, which is a massive improvement over the last 2 years.
Sure.
I think you can. There is people that keep saying that Man United, because of the tough start of the season, factually, they think that Man United, if they continue, they're 5 unbeaten, they can actually, if Chelsea are going to go third, they think that Man United can give 4th or even battle for 3rd, depending on how Liverpool do, because they don't see other teams actually go in there. Newcastle are 12th, so 13th or something like this. Villa with Europe, we know Unai Emery. I'm not sure how good they will be. You know, there is no other team. Spurs, nobody thinks that Spurs will do something. But I've had Man United fans in the chat tell me that, yeah, we think we have the qualities, right? If we are as consistent as we were most of the time in the last 5 games, maybe not the second part of the 4th game or the other game that they drew, Spurs as well, but they think that they can actually compete for top 3. They don't think that they can compete for the league.
No.
I mean,
The people that say
anybody that says Manchester United haven't improved, that's just wrong. You're just wrong.
dead
You're
argument,
wrong.
to be honest.
Like,
I mean-
just having Emblemo in itself compared to what they had in the front line last year, it's just in itself is an improvement. Like that itself is just the improvement that you can even just have a conversation of one player, and it's definitely an improvement to what they had last year.
Cisco, who turned out to be, he's not. They said ACL, and then they came back and said it's not as long, so he's gonna be back soon.
I mean, United were my dark horse from the beginning of the season. Remember, Mo, our very first.
Dayo in the summer kept telling me once you signed him Buemo, we did shows, and he's like, "This is the dark horse of the league. This is the unexpected, and I'm in the league."
You know the funny thing, the league will end. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back at the end of the season. And this you're saying now. Listen, this you're saying now. You're going to regret it. I gave him my breakdown, and I'll tell you why.
Listen,
I'll tell you why. You know why?
Quickly. I hope I am wrong. I hope I do regret it.
I think I just strongly believe you're wrong, and I'll tell you why. A lot of teams right now also play with their what's the word? They play with this whole, we think you're a shit club right now, we can actually beat you. But what they are not looking at in United, right, is the quality of players that you guys have. A manager that, yes, it's been tough for him because, yes, for any manager, it should be. Not every manager is going to be Arne Slot that has the wherewithal, the players, the time, the mindset, and the tactics to go on and win the league in his first season. That's not a regular thing. So my thing is this. When I look at that quality and I look at what Amram has done before and I look at the quality of players that you have, I told him, I said, when you guys signed Mbeumo, you signed Cunha, this was during the transfer market. I said, this is going to transform United. They're going to be my dark horse this season. I will not be shocked if they come fourth. I will not be shocked. I'm saying it again. I will not be shocked.
I would because of the man in charge. I don't trust him.
I was just about to have this conversation. No. He has a point though. Dayo, you look at the end of the second half. You look at the second half.
I agree with him because of the man in charge, because people underestimate him, and that's what's going to get him over the line.
No, because he's not good. He's not good enough. He's not good enough.
That's the point. See, that's the point, though. He might not be good enough, but a lot of teams don't come playing Man U like they play. How many teams have played you in a low block this season? How many teams have played Man U in a low block?
How many times
you've had some difficult games, and nobody's playing you in a low block. You know why? Because teams feel that they can get at you, and it's a big mistake. You might think that the manager is not good enough. I agree with you to a certain extent. Maybe you need a better manager, but the quality of players that you have in that team are players that can actually do something. In Mbeumo, Cunha, are you telling me that? Are you telling me?
Are you saying the squad?
Bruno,
but are you saying that? 1 second, bro. You said the squad last season. Are you telling me that was a 15th place squad though?
No,
because he had from November to May, and he finished. And when he took over, we was 4 points off fourth. And we finished 15th.
Again, like I said, I get that. And I said, I agree with you. Maybe last season you could look at everything that happened and say, well, you're embedding yourself into the season as a manager. Maybe you could say that, right?
I think Dayo, you're looking at it the wrong way, in my opinion. I think that they have the potential to do it, but not necessarily because they're they're looked at as underdogs. I think the fact of the matter is that they have one game a week. Like that's the fact of the matter.
That's part of the reasons why I said they're the dark horse.
But you know what worries me about that?
I'm gonna eventually agree with you, bro. So just hear me out for a second.
Yeah.
So I that's like the potential, right? Like the potential of looking at the whole squad in itself. That potential is that they have one game a week and they do have some quality within the squad. But once again, I question, and I was a supporter of Amarin before he joined Manchester United. But I watch him now, and I'm like, this guy's not managing games correctly. Like every second half for like within this 5-game run that they've had, every single second half has turned into a nightmare. Almost every single one. Like they haven't. Not one second half has been good for them. And what does that mean? That means that this manager can't think on his feet when
before this last 5 games, Joey, I hear you, but before these last 5 games, both first half and second half were terrible. Like he was doing terrible. So all of a sudden now, all of a sudden now he's moving, and that's why I said he's a dark horse for me, because these are the kind of managers. Because Amarim, regardless of what you say, he might not be good enough for Manchester United, but he's a good manager. We've seen what he can do, right? So he might not be good enough for Manchester United. Right,
but I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League, to be honest.
The only way they get top 4 is they survive AFCON, because without Mbeumo, I want to see what they do without Mbeumo and Diallo. I would like to see what they look like during the season. All right, I'd like to see what that looks like during that very, very, very rigid part of their season that's going to be coming up. That's
Because
going to be huge.
again, you can't. I mean, I also look at United and say, for me, the dark horse again. I keep using that word with you guys because I think that's the lowest you could have ever gone. Like you've been at the low of the low. I don't see anything unless you want to get relegated. Like I don't see anything else lower than that could happen, right? So my point is,
before these 5 games, before these 5 games, I actually think he could have got us relegated. And I think as much as we've gone 5
relegated.
games, bro, that's how bad it has been under him. And as much as we've won 5 in a row, we've gone unbeaten 5 in a row. We could very easily the next 5 lose all 5 under this manager because the in-game management is horrendous. It's one of the worst I've seen in a United manager. Sometimes his starting lineups, he got it. I think he got not lucky, but he lucked out with Liverpool, I think, and it went his way. And I think he rolled off the back of that. Whereas it could have gone absolutely tits up. Let's not kid ourselves. And you mentioned the 1 game a week. The one thing that worries me,
I think United fans are negative for no reason.
I'm being honest. I'm not being negative. I'm being honest.
You haven't lost a game in 5 though. Isn't this the time to be happy?
I am happy. But I know.
You don't sound happy. If this is your happy time.
Again.
This is your happy time, bro.
I'm realistic.
You sound ecstatic right now.
I'm realistic. Because I know it's nothing to get too excited about. Because
why? You haven't lost in 5? What do you mean it's nothing to get too excited
because, right, let's be honest. Liverpool, we were lucky. Let's be honest, right? We was lucky against you.
No, you were not. You
you
were not.
We won literally the last.
Don't take a piss yourself. Call us. Let him talk.
The last kick of the game, pretty much.
But we weren't lucky.
Chelsea won against Liverpool with the last kick of the game as well.
Yeah.
Forest, we were lucky. Spurs, I think we were lucky. Yeah.
Were you lucky against Chelsea?
Yeah, because we were dumbasses.
I think. Well,
it's not luck. That's not lucky. That's your manager fucking it up.
Even then,
because if people say that, I can say, Man United were unlucky because the manager fucked it up.
I think this is the time to be happy as a United fan. I don't think there's a reason to be upset.
I think I was happy is the wrong thing to say, Husam, because you have to have caution with being a United fan these days. Because as much as it can be great to 5 unbeaten, the rug can be swept under you very, very quickly. And I think I ain't getting ahead of myself.
But why are you assuming this will happen?
Because I've lived the last 10 years, Mo. I've seen everything happen at Manchester United that's happened. Like I know exactly what could happen.
Thank you for the question, because this is the question I want to ask Double A. So who do you give credit to then for the last 5 games if it's not the manager?
I'm not saying the manager's doesn't deserve credit. I think what I'm saying is when I say he was lucky, I think we were lucky in games. But obviously you have to manage. He's managed to get certain games well, but when you look at when the main.
You don't think let him land. Okay, so carry on. I want to hear the explanation. Go on.
Yeah, right. But so I can be over the harsh on Manchester United managers because I expect the best, as you all do with your clubs. So when I see him making the same mistakes again and again, like I've heard you saying, Husam, about Slot this season, making the same mistakes again and again.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with what I'm seeing, and I don't think it's sustainable the way he's being lucky in games. It's not. We can't continue to be lucky and lucky. Like the start of the season when Liverpool were winning games, the last minute, it stopped, hasn't it? I think that eventually we have to start to see progressive performances last longer than 45 minutes.
Can I ask a question?
Consistently sleeping.
Was he unlucky against Arsenal when you guys played better than us first game of the season and yet we won? Was he unlucky again?
I don't think it was
that was the reverse, actually. You were way better than Arsenal.
You were way better than us. You were way better than us. So my question is,
we could still be playing now against Arsenal. We still not scored that day. It's not being unlucky. We just.
But that ain't on Amorim though.
I'm not saying it is, but the question was, did I think he was unlucky? No, because I just thought we were bad in front of goal.
So the manager, your manager set up the team to play against us in such a way that you had all the correct way. You had all the chances. You were better than us. it's not his job at that point to then teach you how to put the ball in the back of the net. He set you up in a position where you've dominated this other team, and when you're in front of the net, your job as a player, because we can't take off the blame from the players sometimes. A lot of times, some of these players make the manager look bad. The setup is good, you're dominating the game, you're in charge of the game, you know what to do, you get your chances, and you fluff it. And then we say it's on the manager.
But you're picking one game there out of all.
No, but that was
because from the Arsenal game we went to Fulham and we were shit.
No, I get that. I get that. I agree.
Once again, no, don't say I get that, because once again, Bruno Fernandes scores the penalty. You're winning.
Right, did he score though?
He didn't, but we were talking
about. So
yeah, but that's not on the manager though, is what they're
saying.
Yeah, that's not on the manager though.
But the game wasn't. But you're taking results here. What I'm talking about is consistency in playing good football. We're not doing any of that, and that's where my biggest criticism comes. Right, winning the games is fine. It's all well and good, but am I happy enough to just scrape by after watching what has been a vast majority of shit for the last year under this manager? No, and I need to see something that I can fully get behind. I'm not behind the manager because I don't believe in his message.
Can I say this? The last 5 games, you've played better in the first half than in the second half, right? No. So here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My thing is, I get it. You're as a United fan, you will have bigger standards and higher standards for your club because that's what you expect. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not even trying to say you're wrong. I'm just saying from the perspective of someone who's a rival fan, I see the progress and I don't like it, because if you can start playing the same way you play in the first half and the second half, it becomes a problem for people like me in the future. So that's why I'm saying that there is like you would not see it because you expect a certain level. So for you, it's like, this is what you're doing right now. It's not good enough. For me as a rival fan, I'm like, I wish United could be as bad as they were 10 games ago, 9 games ago. 8, just stay there. But now that I'm seeing that you're actually doing something, I'm just like, I can see the progress. As a rival fan, I can actually see a United team that I'm like, again, against Liverpool, because Liverpool were also looking poor that period. When I was asked who I thought would win, I said United would win. Everybody said, "Oh, there's no way, it's not possible." I said, again, there's different factors that play into this. United and Liverpool are rivals. United and Liverpool are rivals. That derby rivalry has its own place in that game. It's not just the manager tactics again. There's luck involved in this thing as well. So all of that coming together, I think you guys can do something this season. Honestly, the way I'm looking at it as a rival from the outside, that's all I'm saying. I might be wrong.
The only way I think we can is because I do think the league is a bit, like we were saying, is more competitive. I think people beating everyone, Liverpool not being as great, and City up and down, Chelsea been up and down. I think there's space for us to climb. If we can, like, again, do I want it to happen? Absolutely. And maybe not negativity, but maybe I expect us to not be consistent. But I think if we can build that consistency, and like you're right, what you're saying, the performances are getting better and better. Like to go 5 unbeaten, I don't think any of us saw. Even the kid with the hair, I don't think he even expected any of that. Do you know what I'm saying? But
does he have to cut it or not?
Not now, because it's 5 wins in it. For some reason, he's done 5 wins.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that I expect us to now go and do that. And I want us to go and do that. We have to go and do it. We can't have another season like last season. But again, this is just me having suffered through the last year, is that the manager has a lot to do to win me over. That's all it is. But if he can continue doing what he's doing, we start to see light at the end of the tunnel. But you already look at some, like you're talking about Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko. 2 of them are already getting massive pelters, and we can't live off one of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, Mbeumo going away to AFCON is going to hinder the team. And Sesko and Cunha are already getting pelters or not playing well or this and this. It adds pressure to them two to score.
Yeah, but again, but you also have to realize, like, it's still a long season. I'm not using this as an excuse. This is why I give every team the same kind of energy I give my team. I remember when we brought Kai Havertz, the first half of the season, he was shit. Everybody was complaining. We don't know if we're playing him as a striker. We don't know if we're playing him as a midfielder. We don't know what he's doing. Second half of the season comes and he goes on to score 14 out of 16 games. So my point is, Cunha could pick up his game because we know the quality that Cunha possesses. Yes, you might not rate the manager, but some of these players have player pride. So my point is, yes, you might lose Mbeumo to AFCON in January or whenever it is, but then you then have a player who's picked up halfway through the season, Who's because are you saying Cunha has reached his peak right now, or Sesko has reached his peak right now? No, they haven't. So my point is, I don't think they're playing at their best right now. Again, give them a few more games if they pick up. So
Listen,
I can be negative if the team is losing, the tactics are wrong, the players look like crap, and I can be like, all right, Liverpool, for example, the last 5 games, that the games they were losing back to back, they look poor. I can be critical about that. But do I know the quality that they have? Yes. Can those players turn it around? Yes, it's very possible.
Dayo, can I ask you one question though about your point? And maybe this is the way that I maybe be misperceiving the way your point is. You kept on saying the word dark horse. Are you saying dark horse for what though?
I'm saying dark horse because they were 15th last season.
No. Dark horse for what? Like
I'm saying
top
dark horse to be like top 4, top 6 this season.
Okay. Normally, when people say dark horse, it's towards
for the league.
No. I clarified that.
Kept on saying it. I'm gonna let him finish and ask him this question.
Yeah, I clarified that at the beginning of the conversation. I said, look, I think that I told Mo beginning of the season. In fact, what am I saying? During the transfer window, I said, for me, United with the players they're buying are my dark horse to make top 4 from the position of 15th and 17th, where them and Tottenham, like between them and Tottenham, because I was looking at those 2 teams. We're looking at the big 6. So I said, all right, Tottenham United did very poorly last season, but with the recruitment that United have done, I think that they are the dark horse between Tottenham and them to actually go on to be in that top 4, top 6 range and actually do it. But they started poorly at the season, with the season beginning, and everybody was saying, "Oh, you see," and I was like, "Well, just wait and see. There's still a lot of games to play." As of today, they have the same goal difference with Liverpool, who we all expected to be on top of the league right now, winning. As poorly as you have started, which is why I said you were so bad at the beginning of the season. That's the lowest I think you're going to be. You can only get marginally better than that, right? Yeah, get marginally better in every game and keep going up. If you play any worse than you played at the beginning of the season, you should be relegated. That's my point. So
let me do this super chats because I want to actually. United has already played against the whole top 8. That's very fair.
Yeah, how many of them would still? How many of them will still be there though? Like Sunderland, do you know what I mean?
Sunderland are tough. You already won.
No, but will they be at the end of the season though? This is what. Are they going to be a top 8?
But at the time you played them, they were tough. They're beating Chelsea last minute. They're knocking Arsenal to a draw last minute. They're pulling teams that you would expect not to win against, and you're saying, "Oh, where would they be?" We don't care where they'll be at the end of the season.
All right,
now at this very stage.
Sorry, you're right. United are a dark horse for the league then. Oh, sorry.
No, not for the league. You're missing my point. I'm saying at the stage.
No, I'm joking.
Very good. At the stage,
I'm an expert gaslighter. What happened to you, bro?
Huh?
He learned from the best.
You've become an expert gaslighter. You weren't like this before.
I've always been like this, bro.
I've worked with you a lot. You've never been gaslighter.
So who do you give? We did that one. The problem we did to be so we don't think Man United are on that level yet. Chelsea.
No, I think Man United can get top 5, and I think Aaron is moaning for no reason. 5
why
games.
Whoa! Why am I moaning for no reason?
Okay, I'll tell you why. You want to know the only 2 teams that haven't lost in the last 5 games? United, Arsenal. End of list.
So
Chelsea have lost. Liverpool have lost. I spoke about the strength of the Premier League from the beginning. It's very difficult right now to go 5 games unbeaten in this league. Now, I understand you're talking about good luck and blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. But guess what? You were very unlucky against Arsenal. You were unlucky against Fulham, as an example. So luck goes both ways. For me, I look at the first game of the season. Legitimately, any person who watched that game, and I credit Dayo always for his take on that game, because Dayo, even as an Arsenal fan, came in after the game and was like, we were lucky to win that game because Man United were way better than us. So if you want to use luck, it goes both ways, because there were games this season where you were unlucky. There were games this season where your forwards missed chances. Not every game you were just, oh, Man United are shit and blah, blah, blah. Like, you are actually
not every game, but I think in the last 5 games, I think there's been, because we've gone unbeaten, I think there's a big euphoria around the fact we've been unbeaten. But I ask you, obviously, take not Liverpool right now because you're shit, but
wow,
with the last 5 games, with the performances we've put in, would you be happy with those? Not results, the performances as a
brother. I've won 1 and 5.
No, this is what I mean. Take
Liverpool and 2 draws, of course.
Take Liverpool out of it. Maybe okay. I'll ask the Arsenal fan, because the Arsenal fan might be better than.
But look who you played, though. Can you tell the world who you played in the last 5 games, please? Tell them. Maybe they don't know in the chat. Who you played?
Liverpool, shit, obviously.
Stop it. Liverpool. Go ahead.
Sunderland.
Sunderland. Okay.
Spurs, Brighton, who are very good at Old Trafford. Let's not forget.
Okay.
Forest away and Spurs away. Yeah.
Okay.
But Forest and
Legitimately,
Spurs
look
have
straight
been
into the camera and tell me any of them is an easy game right now.
Well, Spurs have been shit on this
look,
season.
can I say this? Can I say this real quick? Can I say this real quick? Can I say this real quick? No. Can I say this real quick? I just want to say this. You know all the teams you just mentioned, right? All the teams you just mentioned before you played them. No Man U fan thought you were going to win those games. You didn't think you're going to beat Liverpool? Did you think you're going to beat Liverpool? No. Did you think you're going to beat Sunderland? I don't think.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I did.
Maybe you did. But some of the fans that I know were like, "We're so shit, we can't beat Sunderland." I don't think you. I think Nottingham Forest probably the only team on that list that United fans that I know one-on-one in the real world here, the world where I live, we're confident that you're going to win. Against Tottenham, people were predicting draws. They're predicting a draw, saying Thomas Frank would do something over Amorim. Because again, they rate Thomas Frank and they don't rate Amorim. So my point is, in any of the 5 games, you did listen, performance-wise, first half, like I said, I would be happy with the performances now that I've seen that you can do it in the first half, which means all we need to do is replicate what we've done in the first half in the second half. Hopefully that will pick up in the next few games, but you don't expect a jump from a United team that was in the mud, losing games back to back, not being able to drum up 2 wins back to back, to a team that then all of a sudden is playing full 90 minutes very well and winning 5 games and going unbeaten 5 games. No, you've gone unbeaten, playing first half very well, lucky enough in the second half and not conceding, or coming back from a draw to win a game. That tells me something about the team. That means that they're on a trajectory upwards. I don't like your trajectory upwards. You don't see it, but I see it.
Listen. Like it sounds like I'm saying nothing's going well, which is not the case. Like you're absolutely right. Like to go 5 unbeaten under Amorim when he couldn't even do 2 back to back is a massive achievement. And I'm not taking anything. Moses in the chat, mate. I'm a season ticket holder. I couldn't be any less of a fake United fan. And yes, I'm not saying I'm Amorim out, but I still don't think he's the man to take United forward in the long run. I'll stand by that. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and say that he's not doing good. He is doing a good job, but the bar was very, very low. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not go on as if he's played brilliantly last season. And
no. We're not saying he has. We're not saying
no. I'm just addressing the chat. So this is why when I'm talking about Amorim, I need to see a lot more before I start to say, well, he's the man for the job. Yes, he's doing very well. Yes, he's managed to take us to a place a lot of United fans never thought he was going to do. None of us thought he'd even get 2 back-to-back. So to go 5 unbeaten is fantastic for us. To go 3 unbeaten, 3 in a row is fantastic for us.
Do you think Maresca has shown consistency at Chelsea, so they should trust him?
He's won trophies, so
what do you mean? Okay, so that trophy thing does my head. That trophy does my head.
No. In the lands, no. Listen. You asked me a question. Let me answer.
Don't go with the trophy things because
but I'm not saying.
Ten Hag won you a cup, a Carabao Cup, and FA Cup. It doesn't mean that he's good.
So let me give you the 2 sides of the coin then. So in the landscape of football, the trophies thing holds weight. For me,
not any trophies. Not any trophies.
Well, the Conference League and the Club World Cup.
The Conference League has 0 weight for a club like Chelsea. 0.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Do you know why? It does hold weight? Let me answer. It holds weight because they love to say they've won everything. So the fact they've won that first, and we've won it. No one's won everything we've won. They will dine out on that for the next 4 years.
Chelsea were in the Conference League because they were that bad that they're in the Conference League.
But that's not his fault though. That wasn't because of him. He didn't put him in the Conference League.
Bro, you're not gonna tell me. You're not gonna tell me that winning the conference. You're not gonna tell me that winning the Conference League is good. By the way, I just Husam, I'm not sure if you're here. Your screen is black. Your screen is black, and we can't hear you, Husam. And I think that happened to you before.
Mo, you do know we were only in the Conference League because Manchester United won the FA Cup, right?
I know you were 6th.
Yeah, we wouldn't have gone in the we didn't.
Yeah, I know that.
And in Conference League,
but you aren't gonna tell me that the Conference League is Maresca's credentials. No,
I never said that.
Not you. Like I'm talking to Double A, who said that he won trophies. When
But
he, when you talk,
because I
when-
know it does hold weight.
when
in
when
the-
you
No,
talk
no,
about
I
when
do
you
feel
talk
like
about, I'm
trust-
sorry. Okay, hold on. For top clubs, do you guys think winning the Conference League holds weight in your resume that top clubs will want you?
I wanted Ten Hag
That's not
sacked
what
after the
we.
FA
That's
Cup.
not what your
When-
question
when-
was originally, though.
Yeah, when Ten
No,
Hag
no,
won the
that
FA
was my
Cup-
question. That was my question
let me
because
let
You
me-
said something about trust. Do you think you said something
yeah,
about trust?
yeah.
yes,
Does
and
he-
his
does he have-
answer. And his answer, his first reasoning for trust is because Maresca won trophies.
Because
Doesn't that-
He
he-
didn't talk about the football. He didn't talk about the style. He didn't talk about
Because I
improvement.
know.
Your
Mo,
first
doesn't that
reasoning
give you
is
a little
trust.
bit more leash?
So
Doesn't
if
it
I
give you a
say
longer
that,
leash?
okay, guys,
Yeah, exactly.
if you say if your first reasonings is trophies, should Ten Hag actually should be? Does he have a bigger resume or a better credentials to be hired at a top club than Mikel Arteta, for example? Simple. If your answer is
No,
yes,
because-
that means if your answer is
No.
yes, that okay.
Ange Postecoglou
Dustin-
won a trophy. I mean,
does
we
Ten
should
Hag-
be.
Okay, guys,
Ange is
it's a
then-
very simple question. I asked a question about. He was talking about trust, so I said, "Do you think Maresca took Chelsea forward and should have the trust of the fans because of the improvement?" His first answer, his first reasoning for answering yes was because he won trophies. So I'm using that same metric, taking it to Ten Hag. So do you think clubs should hire Ten Hag because he won trophies?
That's not the question, though. You didn't say should
This
clubs
is
hire.
same- I'm-
No, no,
this is
no,
the
no,
exact
no,
same
let me
question.
no,
I
no,
swear
it's
to
not,
God,
no,
it's
it's
the
not, no.
exact question.
It's not, no, because you're saying now you've switched it from should Maresca have trust in the fan base when he's won them.
I literally
won
asked
them
that, by the
things.
way. I literally asked it.
Right, yeah, but now you're saying because Ten Hag's won trophies, should he be hired by clubs? That's two different things, bro.
It's a
That's not even
trust
the
thing.
same
It's a trust thing.
No,
It's a
it's not.
trust.
Because
Same.
because trust between fans and clubs, again, two different things. Not even the same thing. So should Chelsea fans trust? I think some Chelsea fans will trust Maresca because of the trophy thing, because we know Chelsea fans love to win trophies and be the club to lord it over
Because
everyone
he
that they've won
accomplished
everything.
all our goals.
I'm gonna tell you guys something for Chelsea fans, Joey, before you speak. Anybody like Lewis that keeps saying I trust Maresca because he won the Conference League and the Club World Cup, I think this is a very false reason to trust the manager.
But I
If
think
you're not gonna
taking it
tell me
out of
because
I
context.
agree. I agree.
You're
I
taking
agree.
that out of context.
If you aren't
He
gonna sit here and tell me because
all
of the
of our
football he
goals.
played, because of how he developed the
But
team,
he-
because of this, because
okay,
of that,
but he
I don't
accomplished
see it.
all the goals.
Did I get a chance to answer that though? Because you jumped on me as soon as I said trophy thing. I didn't even get to finish my whole answer.
Yeah, that's what happened. So.
Yeah,
you
yeah. That's
jumped down my neck straight away, bro. To be fair.
That's
Because your first reasoning.
No,
If-
but Mo,
The
Mo, I
problem
think
is
what
when you
wanted to say-
start your argument, guys, when I
Yes.
start my argument, when I always start my argument, anybody in the world, you start your argument with your biggest reasoning in your head. The first thing that comes to
Okay.
your head is the big reason, right? So that's
No.
why I interrupted you. But go ahead.
But I could. But if I had finished, I could. But it doesn't matter now, does it?
It's not
Because you think what
necessarily
you think.
always true, Mo.
Well, to me-
your last one can be your most emphasized.
No,
Exactly.
because you lose.
exactly.
Because you lose. Okay, but basically, because you lose the interest. If you don't present your biggest argument in the beginning, if you ask me, Mo, why do you support Inter? If I tell you not the biggest reason in the beginning, you would lose the interest in that conversation because you're not
Not
convinced
necessarily.
about
But
it.
But then Mo, that means I'm stupid. If I'm asking you a question, I must be able to give you the time to finish explaining what you're saying. If I feel like I've made up my mind that the first thing that you say has to be the most important thing that you're going to say in your response, then I have become judgmental.
Logically speaking, yes.
No,
Logically
that's not
speaking,
logic. Logic is
present
if
my
I
argument.
Seriously, bro. It's your
logic
logic.
says Mo. If I say Mo, why do you support Inter? I must be prepared to allow you finish explaining why you support Inter. You might start with something and spin it off to something else and say whatever you need to say to come to the
So
final.
let me. Okay,
But
I'm gonna
if
give you an
I-
example,
listen,
and
but
then
if I now say, hold on. If
I
I
love
now
how these shows.
if I now
turn,
say
bro.
why do you support Inter, and the first thing that you say is like, oh, I support Inter because we won a treble. I'm like, oh, just because of a treble. So if you don't win the treble, means you're never going
Glory
to support
hunter.
Inter.
Glory hunter.
yeah,
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 like,
because
like,
oh, 100%.
that's silly on me. I
If that
shouldn't
is
do
my biggest reason, yes. So let me ask
No,
you
no,
something.
but that
خلاص, I need to explain now. Because if people ask Arteta why you don't think Arteta is a good coach, if their first reason is that because he hasn't won trophies, that must be in their head. the main reason or the biggest reason why he hasn't won.
Well,
Right? Am I wrong?
can't be but can't be several reasons.
100%.
My answer, right? So because I've said one straight away, it's like, oh, that's all I think about. That doesn't mean that's the case, bro. It can. The answer can be multifaceted. It doesn't have to be one thing and that's it.
Oh, I
Do you know what
just
I'm
disagree. I think your biggest reason in the beginning always comes out of your mind.
But again, what's the problem with that? If that's the first thing that's come to my mind,
And that's what we're debating it.
That's
We're
what
debating
we're
that.
debating.
Right. So because he said that reason, I wanted to debate that reason before I move on.
Okay.
But for me personally, for someone who had Ten Hag and wanted Ten Hag sacked after the FA Cup, trophies alone should not be a reason why you trust a manager. Because, as we saw with Ten Hag, he was terrible and needed to go. But overall, I think Chelsea fans will give him leeway because of the trophies. Because that's just success. If a manager brings you success, more likely you're going to have, Arsenal fans are still down and out on the FA Cup that Arteta got with Emery's players, first of all. So, he's still survived that long, even though they are probably going to win the league. I hope they win the league anyway. So, overall, the football's not great, is it? They got beat by one of the worst United, you could say, in the last 10 years. They're getting beat at home to Sunderland, although all you lot think that they're top 6 this season for some reason. I don't think Maresca's good enough to take to where he wants to go, to be fair. I think he was lucky winning not winning the conference.
Your answer was yes in the beginning.
The Chelsea fans, I'm saying this is my personal feelings. You asked me, do I think the Chelsea fans will give him?
No, I ask you, do you think that Chelsea fans are right to trust him? That's anyway. Maybe I'm missing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think they will because of
that reason. That's what he's saying. He's saying that
because
of he's not saying he doesn't agree with it, but he's saying Chelsea fans will give Maresca a chance.
Hold on. If you're asking me, if you ask me, do you think Arsenal fans should trust Arteta? If in my mind, let me just finish that point. If in my mind, I don't think so, my answer would be no. I don't think they should trust him because of this.
No, but your question was, do you think that Chelsea fans will trust Maresca? For whatever reason,
should
trust Maresca. And he's saying if it's going by what Chelsea fans are saying and the things that he's hearing from them, they will trust him because they keep saying
he's calling Chelsea fans delusional.
No, because that's what they say. Though they say we are the world champions. We won. Maresca's won two trophies in one season. But and Chelsea fans do say that. Now, whether they are right or wrong is a different conversation. The point is, I can only go by what the Chelsea fans are saying. If you ask me, Dayo, my personal opinion about Maresca and whether or not Maresca should be trusted, I would say he looks inconsistent in many games. I don't know how he's not using the players that he has on a consistent basis, like the young boy Esteban, who I think is a good player and who doesn't start games. Like, these are the things that I would call out.
Don't get me in this. I'm going to eliminate myself from this argument.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I just hear Chelsea fans.
I'm not going to speak.
Joey, maybe not you, but I hear other Chelsea fans. I see it online saying, yeah, but we've won. But I mean, I stream with Lewis every Monday, right? Husam, as soon as he walks in with a championship belt and he says day 125.
Yeah, so you want me to answer to that?
No, Joey. I'm saying that based off of that, I believe that he trusts Maresca, like based off his actions, is what I'm saying. So for me, that Chelsea fan trusts Maresca based off of that. Now, do I trust Maresca? Dayo, no. Does he trust Maresca based off his actions? That's all I can speak from. I can speak based only off his actions. Yeah.
Let me do the super chat before action. Sometimes I don't get my fan base.
All this is clownery. This is a clownery of a conversation.
We always want to find the negative in something. If you look at your next 5 matches, we could be unbeaten in 10. I'm also not saying the manager is not to blame, though.
Well, I think that's more on them, yeah, because people like that's your outlook on life. Whereas I'm looking for more. Where you're saying I'm being negative when I'm not fulfilled in everything, and I'm allowed to not be fulfilled. I'm not going to sit here start crowing and bragging that we're 5 unbeaten because we're not where we want to be. We're challenging for the league.
But do you think there is improvement, right? I mean, not.
Of course there is. You can't say he's not with 5 unbeaten, can it? Because we've not done 2.
No.
I think the improvement is not enough. It's not enough for him. That's what he's saying. He's saying there's improvement, but it's not enough for me.
Dayo, can you follow me around everywhere
and
and explain everything for me? Because I feel like you just get me. and you understand everything I'm saying,
because
bro.
I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm like, I get
Thank
it. Which
you.
is why I said to you, I
Thank
said,
you.
I think you're more critical as a fan of the club. It's the same way Joey will be critical about his club. The same way I'll be critical about my club. Look, last season, Mo sat on the stream with me and Husam, and I said, even if Arteta wins me a cup double, which is the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, I still want to change my manager. If there is a better manager out there. And people said, oh, you're talking a lot of nonsense. And I said, it's true. Look, I'm not sentimental to the manager or to the players. I'm sentimental to my club. If there's better players out there and I can get them in over the players I have now, I will change them. If there's a better manager out there and I can get him in and it will work, I will swap him.
But your problem is you'll never admit that anyone's better than Arteta. So then you're just
That's
gonna
true.
always
No,
be
no.
stuck
Like,
with number
I
five.
asked that. I said, hold on, Joey. I said even if Arteta wins me a cup double, I will change him as a manager. So
yeah, but you said if there's someone who's better, and then I can name you the managers that I would think is better, and you would
better.
think no.
Listen, no. I said better and available. I've listed
Because Inzaghi was available. Why didn't you go get him? He was available at the end of the season.
Inzaghi was not available last summer. Inzaghi was not available last summer, and I said I'll take Inzaghi. Remember, Mo, when we talked, Mo asked me would I take Inzaghi. I said yes. So of course I know managers that are better. Are they available?
Inzaghi is the most overrated manager in the world, honestly.
No.
I'm just saying, bro. I know your point on Inzaghi. I know that. I know.
I don't like Inzaghi at all.
My point is, you can weigh, like you can look at what he's a better.
Is Arteta better than Hansi Flick then?
Hansi Flick, I think Hansi Flick is better. He has more experience.
If Hansi Flick leaves this season, by the way, he might not renew his contract, which is a lot of talks in Barcelona. Right? Is Hansi Flick better than Mikel Arteta?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, experience-wise, yes.
How's this an edgy opinion? Of course, Hansi Flick is better than.
I like how you said experience-wise.
There's nothing
experience in everything. He's won
Just experience.
No. Experience-wise, he's won everything. He's a better manager tactically. He's done it. He's seen way more than Arteta could ever have seen.
6 people at Bayern alone. Come on, what are we doing?
What are we talking about here? This guy is a top manager. Like Mikel Arteta. Again, I'll say this as an Arsenal fan. Our ownership does something across all their franchise because I follow what the ownership does. Across all the franchise they own, they like this idea of bringing in a young manager, working with that young manager for many years till they win something and then they stay there. Then they hope that they can keep winning from then on. This is how the Cronkies operate. So most Arsenal fans thinking that, oh, Arteta would get sacked if we come second or whatever. I'm like, they're going to keep him. This is how these people operate. Sadly, those are the owners that we have. But like I said, if I was in control and Hansi Flick is available, and when I mean available, I'm not just because I want to win a trophy, I'm not going to go out there and pay 150 million buyout clause to a manager because I'm being stupid. No, if it's available, it's within budget, it's within reason. I'll pay the guy what he needs to be paid. I'll bring him into the club, give him all the support he needs, the players that he needs, and let him go on and win.
I could argue many of your points, but I'm not going to. Like it's just
Joey, every point we make.
Every point, Joe's like, I'm not going
to
get involved.
I am not debating this. I'm not involved in this conversation.
I
am not debating this.
The Cronkies did the
whole
same.
point of you being here is arguing.
I know, but I can argue Kilchibas. You know, everything.
The reason you can't argue
the Cronky point doesn't make sense. They fired the manager. And
they fired Malone. Just like
this is the first. When was the last time they fired the manager of the Cronkies? They brought in a manager with their football. Hold on. No. When was the last? I'm saying in their history as the Cronkies, you don't know them like I know them. I've been following these guys since they were shareholders of my club. You can talk about your club. I can tell you about these guys.
Following American sports for as long
I'm not talking about American sports. I'm talking about.
I've been a basketball fan.
Listen, I am saying that again. I'm not talking about American sports. You've changed the entire conversation. I said I've been following the Cronkies since they were shareholders in Arsenal. I'm looking at their other franchises and how they've operated over the years. Can you tell me about the Cronkies?
I could argue.
Hold on. Can you tell me about the Cronkies hockey D team? Can you tell me about what they did in that D team with their coach? Who the coach was, why they hired him, how long they stuck with him. Can you tell me what they did with that team before they went? Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Wait. Say
don't
that again.
Google it.
I can't hear the question. I don't need to Google it.
Exactly. So my point, exactly. So you
exactly. I can't hear
exactly what? Let him answer.
He can't hear you. What do you mean exactly?
Exactly what?
Everybody else can hear me except
he said repeat the question. How's that exactly?
I said, can you tell me what the Cronkies did with their hockey team that is not the one that won the Stanley Cup? Their what's it called? The D League hockey team what they did with the
Why am
manager.
why am I talking about non-professional leagues? That's not
Exactly.
professional.
This
That's
is
not professional.
Can I explain why I
What
brought it up?
about talk about the
Can I
Dayo, this is
explain?
the second time you've done a
Talk
wrong.
about the
I-
football
can I
team. Talk
explain
about
why I
the
brought it up?
basketball team
Can
they
I-
own. Talk
can
about
I-
the hockey team they
Can
own. How
I
about that?
can I tell you why I brought it up? It is the same method that they did with their football team, that they did with their basketball team. They've done with their non-professional
They
teams,
just
and they're
sacked
doing with Arsenal.
Malone.
I'm basically saying that the
Just sacked
Kroenke.
Malone after winning.
They
But
sacked
again, this
Malone
is
last season.
what did they sack Malone for? What was the reason?
Disagreements with
how long
Jurgen.
did- how long
no,
did
they
they stick-
actually sacked
How
their
long did
GM, who
they
was
stick with Malone? How long did they stick with Malone before firing
6
him?
years.
Good. What did I just say
6
about
years,
the
but he won a
Hold on.
championship.
Hold on. That's what did I say about the Kroenke? I said they like to take a manager, stick with the manager till they win something. I said that
And
at
then
the
stay
beginning.
with them is what you said.
And then stay with him for as long as they can, except if there's a reason. Malone was not fired because he wasn't winning anymore. It's a different entire internal thing that caused them to fire
I
Malone.
don't know if
That's
they
a
hired
different
Uche
thing.
right away.
They've done that with their football team. They've done it with their hockey teams. They've done it with every club they've owned. And I'm only simply saying that these owners is how they operate. If Arteta wins something with them, they're going to stick with him. If eventually they're going to fire him, it's going to be because of something internal. It might be some political, or we don't like him. Somebody else wants to come in.
That shouldn't be the case, though. Is the
I'm
point?
just telling you about
Dayo,
what my
let
ownership
Joe
is.
respond. Let him respond.
All
Let
I'm
Joe
saying is
respond.
this is my ownership, and they're not going to change overnight. So I'm saying, because I know my ownership, I'm not expecting Mikel Arteta to get fired. But if I were in charge,
Exactly.
have
Now let
changed.
Joey
All I'm
respond,
saying.
please, so we can hear the opposite opinion. Go ahead, Joey.
The whole thing, just to me, is it doesn't make any sense. Like, you have the last time this person has won was in the FA Cup early in the thing, and then the whole thing kind of comes back to the whole Maresca thing with that. I just don't agree with anything that you've really said. Like the whole thing comes back to with Maresca is like, we all set up goals for our managers before the beginning of the season. We all sit here and we talk on panels and we have goals for these managers. Okay. Every single year Arteta has been here, other than one, he has underexceeded his goals. Every single year he's underexceeded his goals, other than one. The one that the first season you were in the title race was the only time that he overexceeded his goals in 5 years. I had goals for my manager last year. Okay. Top 4 in a trophy. He went and got top 4 and 2 trophies. Why wouldn't I trust my manager? But you're over here talking about my manager not being able to trust my manager, but you have a manager who's underexceeded his goals every year.
What did I say about your fan base? I said Chelsea fans will trust Maresca. Did I not say that?
You're gonna just
did I not say? Hold on.
You know, Dayo, it's fun arguing with you, but in the end, it's not an argument because you just interrupt everything.
I don't have to trust your manager.
Let him land,
I
Dayo.
said
Let him
Chelsea
land.
fans will trust their manager.
Dayo, let him land, bro.
What are we doing here? Husam? He's literally taking my words and twisting it. I simply said,
twisting it.
Yes, you are, Joey. I said Chelsea fans will trust their manager because of what the manager has done. He got to the target, just like you said. I said, but me as an Arsenal fan, it's not my job to trust your manager. You don't have to agree whether Dayo trusts your manager or not. The question was, do I think Chelsea fans will trust their manager?
You don't hold your
and I said,
listen,
the question was about Chelsea.
The entire point was you don't even hold your manager
question was
I don't
not about
understand
holding
what is
managers
going on
accountable.
now.
Joey, the question was not about holding managers accountable. The question was about Chelsea. Do you think Chelsea fans will trust their manager? And I said, yes, I think Chelsea fans will trust their manager because their manager has achieved what you set out for him to achieve. Simple.
I can't argue with you when you just interrupt every point.
Because you're basically
I let you sit there and talk, and then you get to talk, and then I don't get to actually have a conversation. Like, it's not a conversation if you get to talk.
This was a Chelsea question, and I answered
okay,
the Chelsea question.
You
All of a
have a
sudden, it's about,
conversation
your
with
manager
yourself?
is not. No,
That's
your
fine,
manager did. I'm like, that's not what we're talking about. We have a question.
That's
the question.
Bro, how are we supposed to address you when you just keep on talking?
Well, aren't you talking back?
No, I don't get to, bro. You just interrupt before I get to talk.
You're talking right now, and I'm talking back to you right now.
Anyway,
because I stopped.
Dayo's point is that Chelsea fans will trust Maresca.
I agree with Joey in terms of objectives. I do think Arteta has underachieved objectives. That's not a disrespect. That's not an insult.
I'm not saying he did. I've
Last
never seen
season he didn't win the league. Year before that, he didn't win the league. The year before that, he overachieved by being in the title
Husam, what was
race.
the question?
That's exactly right.
Husam,
Year
what was the
before that
question?
was
What was the question, Husam?
year before that, Arteta didn't finish top 4. Year before that, Arteta finished 8.
This has got to be the
So he
dumbest.
was right. Out of the last 5 years, in 1 year, he overachieved. The rest, he underachieved.
The question was not do Arsenal fans trust Mikel Arteta? The question was, do Chelsea
No,
fans
I'm
trust
just holding-
Maresca?
Let him, guys. Can we hear what Dayo says?
The
Without
question
interruption.
was simple. Mo said, do you think Chelsea fans will trust Maresca? And I said, yes. I think Chelsea fans will trust Maresca because Maresca has achieved what they set out for him to achieve. Again,
Right.
I give an example of Lewis who said, hey, we've won this, we've won that. And I said, to me, that tells me that the fan base trusts that manager. Simple. I answered the question. And then I said, personally, as an Arsenal fan, I don't trust him. That's Dayo. But the fans of Chelsea, based off the question Mo asked, I believe that they trust him. Simple. When they asked Joey, he said the exact same thing that says, oh, but Arteta hasn't achieved. Ask me if I trust Arteta. Then I will give you my answer based on that.
Do you remember the whole diatribe that you went on when you spoke about how I would get rid of Arteta for another manager and all
I
all
said
this
personally,
other,
me,
do you
yes.
remember any of that conversation
Yeah.
that you had?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so
personally, Dayo.
I have a right to have a conversation about Arteta when you brought that up. I wasn't not just having a conversation from Arteta from nowhere. You brought Arteta up. So I
responded with
to what you
Arteta.
said. I'm not talking about the question. I wasn't talking about the question because I went back to the question. I answered it. I went back to what you said too. So I made sure that I answered both sides of this. I'm not
Mhm.
making this up from nothing, bro. You talked about Arteta first, and then I responded to that. Like, I don't know why you're acting like we never had that conversation about Arteta. Why are we talking about Arteta all of a sudden? That's what you're acting like, and that doesn't make sense to me.
And I'll say this about Maresca. Maresca has managed Chelsea for 1 season. Beginning of the season, we said, what are Chelsea's objectives? Top 4 win Conference League. They did both. So Maresca didn't overachieve, didn't underachieve. He achieved what's expected of him. Done.
Exactly.
Okay, what do I expect? I expect this channel to get to 80k subs. Okay, we got 80k subs. Khalas, done. I achieved what I put out to achieve. If I get 75k subs, I underachieved. If I get 90k subs, I overachieved. This is life. You know, so when Arteta first got into the title race, he overachieved. Me and Mo had this argument in the summer, and he said, okay, let's say Slot left tomorrow. Who would you take to manage your football club? I said Maresca. And there's a reason for that. Because with Maresca, I've got the unknown. And I'm willing to back the unknown in a title race over back a failing horse. It's
Would
like...
you take me? I'm unknown. I'm an unknown. I never managed. I'm an unknown. Would you take me? I'm an unknown as well. Yeah, I'm unknown. Can you take me as a? Can you take me?
Anyway, as I was saying before, I was interrupted for the stupidest point in history. With Enzo Maresca, I think he's an unknown in terms of title race, but last season he achieved everything that he set out to achieve as Chelsea manager.
Correct.
Conference League, top 4 qualification. Also, Enzo Maresca in certain games has shown the tactical flexibility and ability to coach, meaning in a big game, if I've got a Champions League final tomorrow, I trust Maresca more to set up a system and a style to beat the opposition than Arteta. I think that's one thing. I look at Maresca. Maresca's issue, if anything, is actually the smaller games. Maresca in the big games, other than Man United this season, where he went on an unbelievably cowardly approach for no reason whatsoever.
Someone say that's a smaller game, though.
Agreed.
Stop it. Now, anyway, other than that game, most of the big games he coaches really well. Like, he stifles the opposition and he knows how to pick out opposition's weaknesses. Even Bayern away, by the way. Bayern, the strongest team in the world, blah, blah, blah. 3-2 loss. Fairs. 3-2 loss with Caicedo being dog-walked as well. With having Chalobah at the centre-back. You only left there with 3-2.
Chalobah kicked one into the net, pretty much.
There you go. So even having Chalobah at centre-back. So I trust Maresca in the bigger moment more than Arteta. Maresca has achieved his objectives, but he's a risk in title races. Has he been in a title race before? No, he hasn't been. But I'm willing to take that risk based off the evidence Maresca has shown me. That's it.
I don't have anything to disagree with overall. He's inconsistent, and I think there's a big thing with the way that we move is the guy asked for a certain thing as a manager who you should trust at this point, at least after a season. He asked for one thing. You should go get it for him. If he asked for a center back, you should go get it for him. Because you know what? he thinks he knows what's best for the team, especially after what he did last year. I think he knows what's best for the team. So you might as well get him the center back that he wanted when he asked for it. And now look at who we're dealing with. We had center back issues for the entire first beginning of the season. Who told you that before the season started? Maresca.
Joey, can I just say thank you for deciding to argue the points, by the way, because that was fantastic viewing. So I'm glad me and Husam talked you around into arguing points. That was brilliant. Also, Mo, Husam pretty much did the long-winded version of saying trophies will give him time, by the way, just so you know that. He didn't jump down his neck.
Mo, that's the biggest point. Is like a trophy, all it does is provide more leash. It it provides more of a length on the leash here.
And I disagree with that.
Why do you say that?
I'm always I disagree with this. Depending on what trophy you start. Like, for example, it depending on how I see the team. If you win a cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, when Ten Hag won a cup and there was a petition going around, I was with Terry arguing day and night. Some would vouch for this on straight facts to sack him. I said, cut your ties now with Ten Hag. You sacked him 2 months after.
Yeah, but it was the petition.
Let him finish, please. Let him finish.
Go on, bro. Sorry, bro.
No, because he needs to understand which time, because he won 2 cups. That second time he won,
there was a petition to keep him, yeah? The petition to keep him.
And I said that everyone that wants to keep him is wrong. Ten Hag should not be kept at the job. He should be sacked, and you try with someone else.
Sure.
Me looking at trophies is not the only metric. For me, I look at progress. I look at how you play in the league. In my opinion, one of the main reasons you keep a manager is how the manager is consistent in the league, not the cups. Unless they win a Champions League. Anything else, for me, is void. There is a reason for it.
Sure.
Because I believe that the progress always in teams is how consistent and your style of play in the league.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why, because Di Matteo won with Chelsea.
Sure.
Defended against Barcelona, won the Champions League, good. But it doesn't mean that Di Matteo is good to take Chelsea forward, for example.
Sure.
So that's why when I look at Mikel Arteta versus Enzo Maresca, maybe Enzo Maresca has managed good big games, like a Paris Saint-Germain, he managed a good game. In the league, he has a style. That stats show that, underlying numbers show this. But I believe that sometimes Enzo Maresca against smaller teams, the plan fails. I believe that Mikel Arteta has a better system, right? I believe he faced adversities, and I believe that the league was tough and he failed, as I agreed before, in getting over the line, especially in the 23-24 season. But if you're asking me tomorrow, who would you rather take at Inter? I would, without hesitation, I would take Arteta today. That doesn't mean that Maresca isn't a good coach and he cannot improve. Definitely he can. Arteta was on the verge of being sacked.
You also have a bigger sample size, though.
Thank you so much. Yes, 100%. That's why I'm saying maybe Maresca will be better than Arteta. Do I see signs of it? In some games, I see Maresca being a good tactician, and he does some really good stuff in some games, right? Like he did against PSG. He schooled Luis Enrique, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of a league and how Arteta's consistent as a coach, I would trust Arteta more, in my opinion. One of the things that you said, Joey, is spot on. Sample size. Sample size, right? That is what I mean. You know what I mean?
Don't listen to Alex. Alex is just a hater.
Yeah, I'm tired. Just because Alex is shouting at his keyboard,
bro.
Alex is just shouting at his keyboard.
I don't think Alex is a hater. I think Alex believes that, like some Chelsea fans, that don't think that Maresca is the promised man to take Chelsea to challenge for titles in the Champions League and the Premier League.
That Guardiola cannot challenge with titles with the summer that they have.
Here's where I disagree with it. This is
simple
where I
as.
disagree with that.
Pep Guardiola will not challenge with Chelsea, with Chalobah, with these players at centre back, and with signing Garnacho and Gittins. Go to Pep right now, take away his wingers, give him Garnacho and
that's
and
part of it. The
other
part of it is this, right? The other part of it is this. Is when you talk about, and it goes back to a point that Husam made, is if you're talking about in a 2-leg tie, okay, and you're talking about just tactically building up for a 2-leg tie in a Champions League or in any type of tournament game, I trust my manager as much as anybody in Europe in just a cup type of game, right? So if we're talking about just the cup run, I totally understand. The other side of that is what Husam's saying. That consistency comes from quality in your depth, because against those lower teams, you're going to put out your depth majority of the time. That depth is who we have, and he's just dealing with it. And with him dealing with it, he is still accomplishing our goals. That's it. That's it. Because we don't, with the type of quality we have as Chelsea fans, we know who we have. We understand who we have and why most of us don't believe we're in a title race, right? Same.
Fuck PSG that made a.
No, but Kevin, there is when you say one
because
game
of one
PSG,
game against PSG.
once again,
not
I
it
said when I
either.
first started speaking, I said
not
Maresca's
it either.
goal for the entirety of the season was finish top 4 and win Conference League. You did both. You achieved your objective. Now, is finishing top 4 easier than the objective of winning a league title? Yes. It's a lot easier than winning a league title. Of course, we acknowledge this. We have never denied this. But for the club that he came into, a club that finished 6th, your target was to get top 4. You went and you got it. And let's not forget, there was a moment in time last season where Chelsea were 2 points behind Liverpool, where we watched probably the highest quality game the entirety of last season was Liverpool-Chelsea at Anfield, where Liverpool won 2-1. Highest quality game of football tactically, from a tactical perspective, from both Slot and Maresca, the setup from both sides, some of the play that happened in that game, how difficult both teams were to break down. PSG, for me, is just the cherry on the cake. It just shows me, okay, can I trust Maresca in a big game? I can. That's it. That's it. It's just that's just a cherry. It's nothing more than the cherry. It's not. I will never use Club World Cup as the reason why I trust Maresca. I agree that it can't be just trophies. It can't be just trophies. I acknowledge this. However, trophies are part of it. That's how I look. Part of the package. The package has to include success. And there's a reason why now, even okay, I'll use my clubs example quickly before I have to go. The Slot conversation. Now, many people who are Liverpool fans do not want Slot out because simply there are no options available on the market. And I've had these conversations. What has Iraola won? What has this guy won? What has that guy won? As an example, there are some managers who won stuff that the fans don't want. I mean, the best example. Did you see the list that Luis Steele put out?
Yeah.
You want to know who he had on it? Luciano Spalletti was an option.
Yeah, he's at a job.
Spalletti won the Scudetto. Oh my God, he won the Italian League. Fuck off. You get me? So that's where you got to look at it.
Yeah, but I also don't say that. Go against one thing that you said there, though, because there's a point that I didn't expect you to even say. You said something about the mystery of it. Wouldn't Iraola be the mystery of it? Like didn't Iraola be the mystery of what he could do with the team, kind of? I feel like that's
he would be. He would be. But with Enzo, it's smaller mystery. With Iraola, it's a lot of mystery. Anyway, I'm gonna head out, guys. See you guys. Peace out.
Good to see
I'm gonna just get 5 minutes, do the super chats, and then go. I know you're missing me, Mo. Alex, maybe we'll get you. I don't know if you're available, Alex, to get on shows. I see you only on Lewis's channel. I don't know where Dayo is, to be honest.
And Alex pops in and pops out of Lewis's channel. He's not in there for very long like that.
What was Arteta's goal when he started? What was Arteta's goal when he started?
Top 4. First season, top 4, right? And they ended up in
the FA Cup, yeah.
He won the FA Cup. I think the target for Mikel Arteta is to get Arsenal to challenging points, to get Arsenal back to be amongst the best in Europe, and they did that. Now it needs to be win things at the end. Yes, 100%.
But how long? I guess the real question from like us fans when we question this whole process with Arsenal is like, how long? Is like how much longer till there's something, right?
I think it has to be this season now. Has to be.
Agreed. There's no doubt about it.
The problem with this argument, Aaron, is that was last season as well. It had to be last season.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
Like it had to be. Like every season they told me.
I don't think last season had to be. I think this season has to be.
It had to be.
It had to be last season too.
I don't think it had to be last season.
I just think last year they just had a lot of injuries, so people gave them a little bit more.
So what if they have injuries this season?
Mo?
I think he's last chance to lose.
Joe, I'm asking Joe. What if they have Joey? What if they have injuries this season?
I think they got 7 injuries, right? Dayo, you guys are at 7 injuries.
So what if these injuries? What if Odegaard gets injured again? You don't have a striker. What happens then? Are you going to give them the same leeway as last season? I'm asking you. You're the one who said they had injuries last season.
The Cronkies are going to give him leeway. That's it. Like, I don't. This is why I don't have these conversations about Arteta. It doesn't matter what I say as a fan or what I think. I know the ownership.
Debate
Well,
that.
it does matter. Well, it does matter though, because we like to know what Arsenal fans think
Yeah,
and what you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's a
again, but I
debate,
already, I already said what I think. I said even if he won me a cup double, I would still change him.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Yeah,
as a manager,
fair,
yeah,
that's
fair
fair.
enough.
Maresca
stated-
consistently.
I've stated where I stand with as regards
yeah,
to me personally, but
But
I'm just
still,
saying
well, watch
I know
this.
my ownership. So hey, who am I to argue
Listen,
with?
listen to this. Maresca constantly improving, taking account his mistakes. We fans can clearly see this. We won it all. We are kings when it comes to Europe.
You see what Lewis does, bro? You see what Lewis does?
Yeah, no, but
Lewis
again,
got
this is.
everybody's chest like a balloon, bro. I swear. Like,
But again, you can't. Again, it's true. This is why I said Chelsea fans trust Maresca, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like when they say
So are you? It's Lewis's fault.
No, Lewis is just the one that makes it a little bit more overblown. That's all.
All right.
That's my guy though.
Rival fans put expectations on Arteta after 22-23. Rightfully so, Brian. Rightfully so.
I think it's
Well, like, hold
after
on.
3 seasons, right?
Even Dayo would tell you. Do Arsenal fans, okay, you reached the top. Came second, you competed amongst the elites of Europe, Champions League and all the stuff. So people put expectations on the club based on what you are.
But Dio's just put expectations on United and hammering. Dark
No.
horses.
I just
No, not in a bad way. Yeah, not in a bad way, bro. But I'm just going
I
to
believe.
that point.
I believe you guys. will do
Rival
something.
rival fans always put expectations on the rivals and be close because that's what the game's about. When with Liverpool, when you go and spend 500 million, you're going to put expectations on Liverpool, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? And it's up to them to meet them. But after 22-23, Arsenal looks like they should be in the shout for the title. So it's only right that once you start doing that the expectations are there. Doesn't matter.
If Bournemouth had a target of getting to the top 10 and Arsenal to win the league, and Arsenal didn't, and Bournemouth made top 4, does that make Iraola a better manager than Arteta? If you say yes, then it's no use argument. It's a very good question. Okay.
Yeah, can I answer this?
Yes, please. No interruptions.
Because I think that this is kind of a skewed question in my opinion. Because in the end, if you're trying to compare it to, if you're going to use Maresca as the opposite side of it, there is still cup competition you can look at. It's not just league. Like you're not just looking at league. And when it comes to Arteta, we have nothing to look at, even a final to look at when it comes to cup competitions. So no, the answer is no here. The answer is no because Arteta or Areola wouldn't be better than Arteta because
okay, let me ask you a question. Oliver, okay, so let me give you the cup. Let me give you the cup. Glasner won a cup with Crystal Palace and achieved the target of staying in the Premier League, getting the point tally. Do you think he's better than Arteta as a coach? So he won a cup.
No.
Okay, Joey. Joey's the one who mentioned the cups.
You can't.
I want to say yes because it's not just the one cup that he's won.
But over
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Glasner
and he won Europa League.
Yes,
you won Europa League. So you think Glasner as a coach?
Yes
so you okay? So if Maresca gets sacked,
it doesn't mean he's a better manager, but he's a better tactician in that sense.
Okay, so you think if I'm just want to get your opinion. If Maresca sacked for whatever reason, and you have a choice between Glasner or Arteta, which one would you choose?
I'm taking Glasner. I'm not taking.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm taking Glasner.
I believe the Premier League is shit now with the refs, and if not for Liverpool, it would be a farmers' league. This year, City will win it again. It's corruption or incompetence. You can say what you want. For me, I'm switching to Bundesliga soon. Bro.
Bundesliga, where only one team wins the league. Why? That's terrible. It's good. It's a good league. I like
Bro,
the league,
my friend, Red Indian. I don't think.
You know, just real quick. The question with the Bournemouth and trophies are for me the feel for fans to be able to banter each other, and of course to give records to the club. So, for example, if Chelsea win trophies, Chelsea fans can be like, "Well, we've won this. You haven't won that."
Well, it's a measurement for success. I don't know how you can say that.
I said, yeah, I'm not saying this. I said it's
not. I don't think the cups and stuff are measurement for success at all.
For banter, and again, I said again, because if you listen to understand what I just said, and I said it's a fuel
Let
for
Dayo
banter.
finish and I will explain it
I said
easy,
it's a
Joey.
fuel
Go ahead,
for
Dayo.
banter, but it's also a record for the club, which is success. The club's records. I said that just now. That's exactly the statement I just made. I simply said fans can use it as banter, but it's also records for the club to say, oh, these are what I've achieved, the club records that the club has achieved, whatever the case is.
That's fair. Okay, I
So-
understand what you mean by now. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, so my thing is, when it comes to managers, right? When I say who is a better manager, for me, Maresca is a better manager than Iraola, because Maresca is challenging at the top level. Iraola is not able to challenge at the top level right
Agreed.
now. Arteta for me is a better manager than Iraola. Even if Iraola makes top 6 and Arteta comes second, he's still a better man. He didn't achieve his goal, but he's challenging at the very, very top where
He's competing in a different, and he's also competing in other
Yeah,
competitions too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
And he's
conversation.
competing against people, people who are the same people that Iraola is competing against, the Peps, but he's not getting to that position. So for me, again, as much as I would change my manager if there's someone out there, because I know that's me. I know my ownership won't do it, but again, if I look at what Arteta's done so far, last season, you talked about the injuries. I don't even use injuries as a yardstick.
Mhm.
But I know how people like to knock him over the head and say you didn't win anything. But he played the last 9 games with a midfielder as a striker and made it work somehow. And yet he gets criticized for that.
I'm not saying
No, you. I'm talking Arsenal fans, not you.
Can we read the super chat so we can?
Sorry, not you.
like-
I'm just saying.
I don't want to
Arsenal
keep together. Maresca came into Chelsea at a different stage to Arteta. Arteta had to rebuild Arsenal while learning to manage his first job. This is Maresca's third job as a club. But yeah,
I mean,
also, but Maresca had better tools though.
at
he
the
came
same time,
into-
I agree.
He came as a Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo, like a Correa, Reece James. Like he came to a team that Arsenal team was okay. Like not as good as Chelsea, to be honest.
That's fair.
FA Cup, Carabao Cup, did he win it? That's for Maresca. He didn't. By the
Okay.
way, for me, if my manager
And I
wins a
beat him
cup,
over the head. I slander him over it. Those cup runs from last year. That's what I slander him. That's why I talk about it all the time. So I don't. The way he addressed those
Joey,
cups last year was not okay.
how much for Chelsea to challenge and win the league? What's the time frame there? This isn't a dig. I'm just curious.
Yes. So I expected a challenge this year, but my sporting directing group decided against that. So my expectation is next year we should be challenging, and by the following year we should be able to try to
So
win.
even if your sporting directors next year don't get him what he wants, would you expect him to challenge?
I'm assuming that some of these younger players are going to get better.
All right, fair enough. World champions, respect the crown. Yes, best team in the world. 2,000 days of world champ, 100 and whatever.
But guess
thing.
what? Every time you do this, Mo, you're going to be a part of a clip in Lewis's intro. Like every time you try to mock us, it comes.
It's an honor to be a clip.
You're going to
on
end
Lewis's
up being another clip on Lewis's intro.
100 and Husam does it. 150 days of 2,000, 1,000, whatever, of being the best team in the world. Are you going to challenge Lewis? We are in transition, Mo. We're in transition, Husam. Are you going to challenge? Are you going to win? Well, we'll see. Our sporting directors failed us. They didn't sign the players we need. But we are 100 and something challenge.
Hey,
whatever.
you know what that is, Mo? You want to know that I'm going to give you guys some light on what Lewis is doing that for. Okay. I want you guys to understand why Lewis does this. Okay. Because you don't people like to mock it, but they don't understand it.
We don't.
Not 4 or 5 years ago, there was all these channels that were going live. We're talking about our club not even being in existence. So now we will claim everything shamelessly as we ever can. And that's the reality of it.
And we will mock it because it's funny.
Man started making videos about how Chelsea wasn't even going to exist. And this channel includes
What?
Yes. We were getting sold. Remember the whole Roman thing? People telling us we shouldn't even be a club at certain points. So yes.
Who said that?
Being shameless for.
Who said that?
Mo.
What?
Mo.
Who said that?
Mo, I go look. Go.
Go
I'm not
look on
gonna
what?
you go look at your own channel. Your own.
What is my own
Go
channel?
back to the- yes,
I
go back
said-
on your own channel.
I said
Not
Chelsea
you.
should be cancelled.
No, not you, but go back to your own channel and look at the type of talk that was happening on just your own channel. Go look at the type of talk that was going around. And that's why this guy is shameless, because people thought that this club acted like this club wasn't going to come back. We thought Chelsea's dead. That's what people were telling us back then. Okay, Malachi, now he's going to be shameless.
So Chelsea are back?
You said we were dead. He's shameless now. I did hear you. Tell us.
So you're back. So you're back.
No. Who else? Who else?
I just don't. I've just
I
never
don't understand. I never said Chelsea's dead.
No, who said that? You said that, right? Who said the word back? You said it, right?
No, but you're asking. I didn't say Chelsea are dead. When?
Go, Mo. Go look at your titles, bro.
Okay, can you define dead? Hold on.
Go look at your titles,
Okay,
bro.
hold on. Can you define? Okay, can you
Mo.
define dead? Okay, you're claiming something. Joey, calm down. So hold on. Can you define dead so I can actually clarify or deny?
What if then? What's what your title said? You tell me, Mo. That's what people's titles said. Chelsea are dead.
So if I say Chelsea finished, so hold on. If Chelsea finished 12.
Am I wrong?
Hold on. Okay, don't do this. If you say, okay, hold on.
Am I wrong?
If you are 12,
now that we got to be shameless about what we do. That's it.
Why is you complained about Dayo not letting you speak? So if Chelsea finished 12 and I say Chelsea is dead, if I say Man United is dead, what is that? Is that wrong to say that?
Before the season, we were dead, right?
What do you mean? This season? I said you're going to challenge
before
the league.
Before that 12th season, when we were going through administration and all that other shit. That's what he's talking about. That's what he's upset about. That's what he's basing all his shamelessness on. I'm talking about Lewis here, by the way. You don't want to understand it. I'm talking about Lewis. I'm telling you.
Why do I have to do with Lewis?
So Lewis is
it's a different story.
You're already part of the intro. You're part of the intro. What did you have to do? You're part of the intro. So don't act like you're not part of it. You're part of the intro.
I love it being part of it. Ten Hag has won more trophies than Arteta. Would you take him at Chelsea if Maresca sacked? Yes or no question.
It's not, no, bro. What is that kind of question?
No, okay, good. Faraz, he answered no. If you truly want Glasner or Ten Hag, then you really believe Arteta's trash. That's cool by me. Pick up Faraz. That's what some people think. But listen, I want to thank everyone that joined us. All the guys' channels are in the description. Currently, of course, Joey's channel in the description as well. WAP Sports, of course. AA, of course, FC AA, and the Gunner Edge, Dayo's channel in the description. That was a great show. Good argument. I want to thank everyone. Now, this will take you to Husam's channel with him and Grizz actually going about another Liverpool crisis meeting. Husam and Grizz. I will see you guys there. Yes, I will see you guys there. And we're out of here, people.